stirring the coffee with massively huge chopsticks using big chopstick energy in the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, I think it's Peruvian coffee. Ah, that's good. Actually, no, it's not. It's Trader Joe's dark roast. Yeah, that's right. I need a cup of coffee to be able to tell which kind of coffee I'm making. So there's about 2 foot of snow out there, close to it. Close to it. The deck is completely covered. It's ridiculous. It's supposed to snow until 6 o'clock tonight, so that's a good thing. I'm all set here at home. This is what being a prepper is all about. Okay, everyone thinks being a prepper is all about, all the Second Amendment stuff. That's part of it, but it's also when you get 2 foot of snow and you probably have another 6 to 8 inches coming. Can you still operate? In my neighborhood, all of the power lines are behind the houses. They run behind all the homes. So trees have grown up through the power lines, and these lines go down all the time. We lose power a lot here, more than I ever thought that I ever would. So I've got everything for light and heat, cooking, and I could be shut down for several days. And it has happened in the past, and I'm okay. And I'm all right. And knowing how things are here in the Philly area, everything's going to come to a screeching stop right now. Nothing's going to happen today. I will go to work in about, what time is it now? I have to be to work at 7 a.m. So I'll leave here at about 6:30. But I won't be able to shovel the back of the house until I get home, which is what I did yesterday. Shovel the back deck and all that stuff. And then I've got some neighborhood kids that are going to shovel the driveway. And they're happy to do that. They get their $30 and they get it done in, it's 2 brothers. They get it done in probably 20 minutes. So good for them. And they just go from neighbor to neighbor, and they'll probably make $300 or $400 before the end of the day today. Good for them. Young kids. What are they, like 12 and 13? Well, it would eventually come. Last night on Gab, because I was bragging for the past 2 weeks how Gab has been so good to me, I was called a tranny, a white knight, and a bundle of sticks. Read between the lines there. All by one guy. And told I need to go buy some Vagisil. What is that? What is Vagisil? All from a guy called the High Value Warrior. Oh gosh, the names people give themselves. And he does have like a Spartan helmet as a profile picture. It's kind of like the guys with the Greek statue profile pictures and the Latin names. Most of them are fairly useless. What? You got your heart crushed by a conservative woman who's a member of the NRA, loves Jesus? She's a MAGA girl, and you got your heart broken by her? And you thought somehow that was not going to happen because of all those things? Dude. Human nature comes first. Politics comes second. All right? American flag waving, red hat wearing women aren't going to treat you any better if you don't man up. You're just going to be another guy. Come on, let's get real. I've said this before, there's so many red pill guys are experts in female nature, but they have no clue about their own nature. Isn't it funny? And I'm not busting on Rollo. The rational male is all about females. Scratch my head. Hey, the reason why I don't bust on Rollo is this. I don't do that anymore, I should say. Is something happened inside my damn heart not too long ago when I found out that his mother died. I knew his pop passed away, and his mom was coming to the end of her life. You know, we're only given 2 parents in this lifetime, so they are pretty darn special. You know, we're given 1 mom, and they're pretty special. We only get 1 of them. When his mom passed away, something inside me said, okay, that's it. Stop. 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 And I have no beef. No beef at all. That's the only thing I can say. Woman complains, my husband is an alcoholic. I ask, how did you meet him? She said, at a bar. No commentary needed there. One said to me, it's always good to see you, George. I said likewise. No visitors allowed. So I feel, when I go there, I feel like, you know what, maybe I can play the role of a visitor as well and just be a little bit friendly. You know, Jesus talked about visiting people in prison. And here's an observation that I've had. You know, my first job in the criminal justice system was in 1978. I did an internship for 1 year at DCJS, the Department of Criminal Justice Services, the Parole Division, in Albany, New York. And I would visit inmates, I would visit the incarcerated and look at their files and such. And here's just an observation. It's not a judgment. There's no professional interpretation here. But the ones with the most despicable crimes, the lifers, the guys that are doing life, were always the most friendly and open to dialogue. Which is one of the reasons why part of the Daybreak ministry will be going to a prison and visiting those guys and running a discussion group or a reading group and reading to them, or maybe even teaching reading to them. Do you ever talk to somebody who will never see the light of day? It's transformative. When you talk to a guy who will never, ever, ever feel grass under his feet. Never. His life is a courtyard. That is it. A courtyard. Now that's a trip. That's like really weird. It's weird for me to talk to people who will never, ever experience freedom. I've never gotten over that. It just blows my mind how a human being can adjust to having all their freedom taken away from them. Which of course could lead us to a whole interesting conversation about freedom and the Constitution and such. The Constitution has been turned upside down, if you haven't noticed. You heard me say this yesterday. Single men attract a woman who wants to build, and you will bypass most of the dark issues that a lot of guys can't stop talking about. Build. Ladies who are watching, do you want to build? What do you want to build? Or do you want to twerk? Or do you want to show your butt or your boobs or dance for 30 seconds on Instagram? Ladies, you're signaling all the wrong stuff. I've said it this way in the past. I'm a huge bird fanatic. I love birds. I probably started my bird craze when I was in my late 30s. So here I am at 60. So it's over 20 years now. When I started buying bird feeders and bird houses and bird baths. And I remember just going and picking a random bag of birdseed, like birdseed, generic birdseed. And then I started getting this magazine because I was interested in birds. And it's kind of funny, back in the 40s, 30s and 40s, like World War II and post-war era, a lot of guys called women birds, which I find that funny. I just think that's hilarious. I don't know why. Calling a woman a bird. Hey buddy, check out those birds over there. It's just a funny word. But when I got into birds, I got this magazine called Birds and Blooms. A very cool magazine. Not wickedly popular, as you can imagine. It was not good housekeeping, so it wasn't like a chick's magazine. It was a magazine for human beings that like birds and gardens. because those things do tend to go together. And it was over 20 years ago that I learned that if you put out certain kinds of seeds, you attract certain kinds of birds. If you like the big birds, the cardinals, the blue jays, like the bigger birds, you put out the bigger seeds. If you like the songbirds and the goldfinches, those like neon yellow little things that are just so cute, pretty, just really pretty. Oh, and then of course the next level of being a bird aficionado is getting binoculars so you can see what you want to see up close, what their wings look like and what their beaks look like and their behavior. Then you put out thistle seed, which is as thin as a pin, and it attracts these tiny little goldfinches, these beautiful little things. And then you can put out millet and attract a completely different kind of bird, all based upon what you put out. Isn't that crazy? I mean, think about that. When you put out something, you attract something. And depending on what you put out, that might vary what you attract. So ladies, what kind of bird seed are you putting out? What kind of birds are you attracting? Men, what kind of birds are you attracting? What kind of seed are you putting out there? Are you living a virtuous life that's visible? Can people see the virtue? You'll attract people who are attracted to virtue. Are you putting out there that you're broken and hurt and taken advantage of and utilized? Guess what? Then you end up attracting fixers, people who want to fix you and are only good to you while you're being fixed. Or you attract other broken, weird people. What if you visually put out there that you are a normal, fully functioning human being? I'm talking to both genders right now. Wouldn't that be a cool way? Weirdos will eliminate themselves. That's why you've heard me say pursue excellence, and excellence will pursue you. And for men, I say sometimes that excellence comes in the shape of an opportunity, a job, or the shape of a woman. Excellence is the bird seed that you put out. You don't chase women, you attract them. And I would say that goes for both. Two people who are excellent, not just sexy and attractive. That's a weird Western civ thing. My thoughts are this. When you exude excellence, you attract excellence. So here I am at 60 years old. I'm in shape. I'm healthy. I'm positive. I'm strong. I'm fast. I'm wealthy. I have everything I could ever want, ever. I still want to conquer a few mountains, though. But think about this. I am attracting more women now, at my age, with gray hair and a white beard, than I ever have in my entire life. Ever. I am not going out to bars and clubs and where I'm talking just living life. And women are making themselves known to me. How in the world does that happen? There's no game involved here. There's no manipulation. There's no orchestration. I'm not engineering anything. I'm living a life of excellence. So what woman wouldn't want to join me? I walk faster, I have a good posture, I'm articulate. Notice, I'm not running around with a fat wallet. I live super humble, drive a Toyota Tacoma. I am, at best, average looking. But why am I attracting women left and right more than ever before? Why is that happening? Because I live a life of excellence. Period. Period. So I get to choose. So what's coming at me? Virtuous ladies who've made decisions to build. Gentlemen, I share this with you because I want you to emulate that. It's like Dick Vermeil said, find someone you can emulate. Now, does that mean you have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, walk 2 miles, grow a beard, talk like me? No. A lot of people have tried that. It doesn't work. Be yourself. Like Mitch Hedberg says. I saw turkey bacon, turkey bologna, turkey jerky. He goes, and then I saw a turkey in the store and I said, hey, just be yourself. It was something like that. But to you, just be yourself. My gosh. If you have to fine tune the excellence and the virtue, then do it. Any Neil Gaiman fans out there? Were you ever into like the more fantasy, darker comics? Put your answer down below. I discovered Neil Gaiman through the first comic book I read was called Orpheus. It's a standalone story of Orpheus, and the front cover was printed with a glow-in-the-dark paint. So if you put it in front of light and then turn the lights out or go into a dark room, you see this Sandman Orpheus face on the front cover. It was cool. And then I just started buying one after another. This was probably in the late 80s. Or, no. It was in the mid-90s, going up to about 2000, I think. No, it was even before that. And I would get into these graphic comics of Neil Gaiman, and I really enjoyed them. Did you ever wonder what your testosterone levels are? I'm going to be partnering with a company that does all kinds of testing, and they're going to be a sponsor of the show, and I'm really looking forward to this. You know, it's so interesting. Let me just put it this way. You've seen me. I'm in shape, symmetrical, strong shoulders, arms, chest, good posture. I'm fast, I'm strong. I avoid nothing. I don't have to, the only thing I avoided recently was shoveling the snow, because I'd rather just give some kids $30 than go out there and do it. But several years ago, being in good shape, when I got my blood work done, my blood work indicated that I wasn't in shape. There were some wacky numbers there. So for me, how I looked was irrelevant. And my lab work was showing something completely different. And unless I made some changes in my life, which is where carnivore and mostly meat and ketogenic lifestyle, and the ketogenic cooking became a lifestyle, I started viewing health differently. I always looked at visually. I look healthy, therefore I am healthy. That's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. So I became kind of a lab work junkie and started fine-tuning my numbers. And now I'm partnering with a company that does all kinds of elective lab work. It's not covered by insurance. It's, various testosterone panels, thyroid, hormones, just you name it. They have hundreds of lab tests, and they send you the stuff to draw the blood in your home. You just prick your finger and you put in 6 drops of blood in this little vial and seal it, and it's perfect. And I've partnered with that company. I'm going to be probably telling you more about it once I officially become an influencer with them. But I'll tell you what, there is nothing like knowing what's going on in your body. Do not rely on a mirror. The real mirror is your lab work, whether you are a man or a woman. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason.
Just when I thought I was out.